Hello and welcome back to Informs What's Your Story series. I'm Tracy Cahall, Senior Membership Manager at Informs, and I'm here today with our guest, Samruddhi Watts. She is a business analyst at Amazon. She's also an alum of our ACAP Pathway program and an early career professional. Samruddhi, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Tracy, for having me here. And I'm having a great time here at Informs.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear it. So I hear you recently moved to Seattle. What's your favorite thing about living in there?
My favorite thing about Seattle is the balance that it offers. So you can experience the fast-paced city-like environment. And if you want to relax and reset, you can just step out, go see the mountains, go by the water, or take a ferry, go to the nearby island. So I like that part. It has both aspects of it. And also not much traffic like San Francisco.
Yeah, coming from San Francisco, I'm sure that's a big difference. Yeah, we love Seattle. We have an Informs conference there, I feel like, every couple of years. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
So you earned your master's degree from Purdue, and you graduated in 2024. What was that transition like, going from being a student to now working in industry?
Yeah. So for first couple of months, the transition was more from structured problem solving or structured learning to ambiguity, because in grad school, most of the problems we work on are well defined. Yeah. However, that's not the case when you join a corporate or a big organization. So that transition to be okay with the ambiguity, learning to define the problem, understand the business context was the transformation part and a bit of a challenge in the initial months. And another point was that I realized that technical skills are not all parts of the job. That's just one part of the job, and understanding the problem well, framing the business context well, working across teams, understanding your data are the other parts of the job that's also very important. Right. So it was challenging, yet most of the growth happened there.
That's awesome. Yeah, everyone I talk to mentions the importance of communication and defining the problem. And it's really interesting how often that comes up. So clearly it's something we should focus on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now, you were part of the ACAP Pathway program at Purdue, and students earn an associate certified analytics professional credential at the same time that they are earning their degree. How did that influence your coursework? And then as you were going onto the job market, did that help increase your confidence at all?
I would say yes, that did help me increase my confidence. How? Because instead of being stuck in the ambiguity of the problems we solve at the industrial level, it provided me a mental framework, a sort of a structure to divide my problems into different buckets, as ACAP pathways explain, into your understanding your problem well, the data, the methodology part, and then finally understanding how to communicate the impact and the results really well to your team, your stakeholders, and to the leadership. So it really helped in shaping me and providing me a strong mental framework for analytics pipelines.
Yeah, that's great. That's what we hope to do. As a business analyst at Amazon, how does analytics show up in your day-to-day work and influence your decision-making?
Well, analytics show up in every decisions I make most of the time in my day at Amazon, whether it's about understanding a feature is helping improve customer experience or not, whether it's helping my stakeholders, say product managers, understand whether their product is landing as envisioned or not, or whether a system is broken, solving the processes that has been broken. In all of it, analytics plays a huge role. And more than that, shaping the right data foundations so that the analytics that we build land up really well, because just building the right analytics would not help unless the data foundations are strong. So yeah, analytics is a huge part of most of my work at Amazon.
Yeah. What about in your personal decision making? Does analytics ever influence how you think about your own life decisions?
Well, honestly, yes. Since most of my time is consumed by dealing with analytical problems, it's bound to reflect in the personal space as well.
Yeah.
I would say the structure, breaking down the problems into smaller problems and then approaching one by one, that's the approach that reflects in my personal life as well. That I like to put down the structure to any problem and break it down into smaller chunks and then take one at a time. So I guess that translates to my personal life.
Yeah, that sounds like a smart approach. I should try it.
Yeah.
Early career roles often involve a lot of learning as you go. I think you mentioned a little bit how you had to adapt coming into Amazon. So what other adjustments have you had to make since starting your career?
One of the adjustments I would like to highlight is being okay with imperfection. In grad school, we have a defined problem, as I mentioned earlier, and then we are very focused on producing the perfect output, perfect results, maybe to score well, maybe to win a competition. However, in industry, it doesn't work like that. You need to make decisions fast. And even if you have imperfect data or imperfect solutions built in, you still sometimes need to go ahead with it. So the ability to back up your approach, even if it's imperfect, is what I have learned over the time at Amazon, and the adjustment that I have made. And then eventually backing it up with more data, more structure. So basically, being okay with imperfect solutions and yet going for making the data-driven decisions. Yes.
That's great life advice for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
Now, you're relatively new to being an Informs member. As a young professional, how has Informs or being part of Informs helped influence this stage of your career?
That's a great question. I started being associated with Informs as a student 2 years ago when I was doing my master's in 2024, early 2024. So Informs has shaped my thoughts, and I had a lot of takeaways in different ways. First is obviously meeting so many different types of people who are in different stages of their career. That gives me fresh perspective and a diverse perspective on thinking long term about my career. It also gives me exposure to knowing how many different types of analytics problems are being solved across industries.
Right.
Similar ways, but slightly different approach adapted for the problem. And it also makes me realize that this field has been existing for so long, I was not aware of.
Right.
So a lot of learnings, both from people and their careers.
Yeah. It always amazes me how many different industries and really types of jobs that we have represented here. So
yeah, exactly. There are so many industries I couldn't even think of that are using different analytics frameworks in their applications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is your second time at this conference, the Analytics Plus conference. What's been the most valuable part about it for you?
It's obviously the people first. The most valuable part is the conversations I have with them and the offline connections that I establish with them, and that continues over the years. Yesterday, I met some of the people I met in my first conference when I came as a student. And this time I'm meeting them as an industry practitioner. So it's been a journey, and it's so good to see them again. They recognize me, we have a conversation, we can have a coffee chat outside the conference as well. So the connections that I build here last longer than the conference, and that's the most valuable part, I would say. And obviously, besides that, the conference has been evolving a lot in terms of talks and the workshops. It's getting customized to the needs of attendees. So a lot of the workshops have been really useful in giving me takeaways for my work.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's always the best part of the conference, is just the extra stuff that happens.
Yeah.
I know you never get to all the sessions that you want to go to, but those like hallway chats and the extra coffee and going out to dinner.
Yeah, I always have some sessions that I miss. It's on my calendar. I want to go it, but whatever sessions I get to attend, I'm sure I have like few takeaways from all of them.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, for students who are considering analytics roles in large organizations like where you work, what advice would you give them for preparing for that?
In order to prepare for large organizations, or let's say for any organizations for an analytical role, I would say first focus on having your foundations right, the technical foundations. I know with AI evolving, it can do a lot of the technical work, like writing your queries or code, but still having a strong foundation in the core skills would provide you an edge in working with AI as well. So that's first. And second would be working on projects or problems that simulate the real world problems, I would say, because most of the times the problems we work on in grad schools are very different from the real-time problems that happens in industry. So taking up a small project that simulate that environment would give you an exposure, and also that would help you showcase that work when you're applying for jobs or reaching out to the industry through your portfolio. And third would be learning to communicate. And by communication, I do not mean the communication you have informally or formally in the industry. It's also about learning how to translate your technical models and the data analysis work that you did to insights. Because unless you translate that into good insights to your leadership or your stakeholders, your models are of no use. Because they will not understand the technical language. So learning how to translate your insights effectively and eventually communicate that is a very big game changer in industries. It can give you seat at some of the meeting rooms which you might not have thought of early stage itself. So being good at it would definitely help. So these are my 3 advices, I would say.
That's great advice. We hear a lot about the need for people to be able to talk to non-analytics people and really tailor that information and to sell the value of what you're doing to people who are maybe non-technical or have no real understanding of the field. So, yeah,
and to add to your point, we never work in silos in the industry. It's always you're working with 3 or 4 teams simultaneously. So it's very important to cross-communicate your work.
And they don't all know what you know.
Exactly,
So, looking back, what's one thing that you're really glad you invested the time in graduate school?
I would say the projects that I did and the people I did those projects with. So definitely the industry practicum that we had at my grad school at Purdue, that gave us a real-time exposure to solving an industry problem. Like we worked with a real company and took upon their problem. The competitions we were part of, the hackathons we were part of. And obviously the people I chose to be part of those competitions with, that helped me navigate well, learn from them. So I would say being with the right people, your peers, your network, and then using them to grow together. So I would say that was something valuable that I invested my time in Purdue.
Hopefully you're lifelong friends.
Yeah, they are.
That's good. My last question. As you think about the next few years of your career, what are you really excited about to learn or to do?
I'm in general really passionate about this field of analytics and data science. In next few years, I want to grow as someone who's close to data infrastructure, who has a good understanding of data infrastructure, and someone who can build the full analytics pipeline end to end and at a scalable level. Because especially working at Amazon, we always need to think big and think of our project on how it can be scaled to a bigger level. So that's what I'm looking forward to, that building something at scale in analytics, and also using AI in my work to build a system that is analytics focused. And also it's customized towards my work. Like nowadays, there are a lot of tools, but not many are analytics focused or data science focused. They are generic tools available. So I want to invest my time in learning how to build AI-driven analytical systems going forward and improve my data infrastructure skills as well, and having fun with it as I learn. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, that's wonderful, and good luck in the future. Thanks so much for being with us today and sharing your story.
Well, thank you so much for giving this opportunity to share my story. Hope it resonates with someone and hope it's valuable.
Yes, absolutely it will. Thank you very much to our viewers for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.